Hey, I just wanted to make a quick video response. You was talking about the elementals and the elemental spirits. You was also talking about detachment from the spirit. You kind of unlocked a lot of things within my crown chakra, and I think we're channeling that right now. I feel and I believe that it's not detachment from this body. This body is what gives us connection to this earth and this physical realm. So it's more of acceptance of its position, its purpose, acknowledging its abilities, knowing it. So if you watch the movie The Secret, then you would understand that how much of the mind has been limited because of all the propaganda we see on TV. How much is it limited by the propaganda affecting our own perception and how we see the world and how we see things. So I just felt that I just wanted to go there and talk about this consciousness, the body, the spirit, and the mutuality between the three. It's mostly two. The mutuality between the two. And accepting this mutuality. Mutuality means that they work together. It's true. The spirit and the body works together. Before we come into spirituality, we do not understand the spirit part of ourselves. We don't understand the mutuality. We see it as duality. Understand? Because duality is there's two, not one. Or there's two doing two separate actions. And I guess separated and divided. We see them category as two. The spirit is within us. We see that all the time. But we never see it as a part of us. So this is, when you come into spirituality, is more, or come into metaphysiology or metaphysical, it's more, you're accepting the power of the spirit. I'm having a bad day. You're accepting the power of the spirit, accepting the power of the spirit, accepting the power of the body, because through the nature religion Wicca and witchcraft and traditional witchcraft, which I practice, we believe that the body is made up of four elements: earth, air, fire, water, in its many forms, and it's been manipulated in many ways to fit this vessel, to fit this design. And everything is made of all these elements, and it's manipulated in as many ways. I'm gonna just describe this. So, fire, metal. Then you go down to the periodic table. There's iron, there's zinc. All of these things are within our bodies. Lead and mercury, and then you have air, oxygen, hydrogen, helium. You have then you have water in its many forms, as hydrogen and blood and water, H2O, and all these different little molecules that has been breaking down. And I know that one person I've seen has broke down all the elements on the periodic table into elementals. And they fit into an element category between its description and the way it looks and its form, its properties, and its makeup and its structure. Now, I'm just taking a little too far into minds, but we believe that the body is made of four elements. And when you start talking about the elementals, then I start thinking about how the reason why the elementals listen to us. I've always believed this. It's always been believed. I just wanted to make sure you understand this one. But The reason why these elemental spirits listen to us is because there's another elemental. It's called spirit. Mm? If you understand anything about the pentagram, it's 5 points. And if you understand the 4 elements plus the spirit is an elemental. The spirit. That's why we talk to the dead. You know, we talk to the lower. You know, we talk to the lower legba. You know, these are the elemental spirit. That's what they are. They're the elemental spirit. The elemental of water and the elemental of fire and elemental of earth and air. Then there's elemental spirit, but I'm just gonna focus on this one. The elemental spirit is ourselves, the dead, the ones living, the lower. Um, these are those who has been manifested only as spirit form. We have been manifested both as spirit and physical. As a body, like that's what I said. Accepting and embracing the mutuality between the two, because they work together to create a powerful being, a powerful being. But it's only limited to as far as our consciousness. That's why I said the mutuality between the three. It's only limited between the consciousness and the perception of the consciousness. So it's only limited of how far you believe it goes. So if you watch the movie The Secret, you will see that they have limited for us. We were born into this world where the consciousness is limited. So that's why we have to go through meditations, kundalini, all these different things, witchcraft. And witchcraft is just a form of putting this to work. To get into it, it's more crystal meditations, visualization. I should just say learning was just learning. You know, the experience of learning is an opener of the spirit, because it's also broadening the consciousness. And like I said, it's how far our consciousness. So it's the broader your consciousness get, and we do this through the many forms of learning ourselves, through meditation, through yoga, through I did it through crystals and learning and books, um, forms of divination, tarot cards, things like that. People just learn themselves in so many different ways, you know. Me, myself, I like to do it through my herbs and my crystals. Um, and we just learn ourselves, broaden our consciousness, because the subconscious will be unlocked the more you open your consciousness, because they are mutual. And your subconscious is a part of the spirit. So as the more you unlock yourself and accept the body, accept this, you will accept the other part of it. It's mutual. It's it's like this. It says integrity on one side, and then it says integrity on the other side. It's just like that. So more you accept that it is two-sided, then the gap between the two will become thinner. And I just hope that you like accept this video response, because I've never went this far into all of my theories on our practice. So, and if you ever want to holler at a brother, tell it what's up, because we could talk. We could talk. We could really talk. Um, you know what I mean? Because these theories that you look into, that we look into, we all have a common interest, and we need to come together and talk about these. And through this communication, through all this vlogs and thing, we come to be able to embrace this better through our brotherhood and fellowship. we can embrace this better. So I don't know where else this is gonna go. I just went on to a rant, but accepting the mutuality between the three: the consciousness, the spirit, the body. Understanding what the body is, the spirit is, and the mind. Understand how it's been limited. Understand all of these things. So, blessed be.